Hi guys, how you guys doing on this Sunday evening? I hope you're having a nice day, a nice evening. I'm just at the Novo Hotel, just relaxing. Um, yeah, so I'm just waiting for a friend to come down now. But guys, I want to talk to you about. Do you know it takes about 10 times, only about 10 times, to talk negative about someone in their life, for that person, that individual, to feel less of a person and less worthy in their own life. Did you know that? But it takes about 100 times. I'm not exaggerating. It takes about 100 times for that person to feel worthy in their own life. To hear something worthy, hear something positive about themselves, to feel worthy again in their own life. It's easy to break someone down. Tell your neighbor, it's easy to break someone down. I know there's some people who's, showing a smile every day. Every time you see them, they look happy. But have you ever seen them when they get home and they close the door? How they look then? Huh? Nah, I bet you'd be surprised how these people look happy outside, but when they get home, they are sad people. It only takes 10 times to make a person feel less of a person in their own life. And that's why I suggest that we have to be careful in how we approach each other and what's the last word we leave with each other. Because if the last word is a negative word, then that person who you left that negative word with, they're going to feel less of a person in their own life. And I believe that it's our duty as individuals to leave something positive in each other's lives, to encourage each other, to lift each other up, to not look on the wrong, but to look on the right. To not look at what a person's not good at, but look at what they are good at and encourage them in that. That's what I believe, I'm in the business of motivating people in their own lives. Do you know what I'm saying? You you can't meet Nathan Brown and there's nothing great I'm gonna tell you about your life. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for the best about you. Do you know what I'm saying? And once I see the best about you, I'm gonna encourage you in the best about you. If there's something negative about you, I'm not gonna dwell on that and say, but you're good at this, but you're rubbish at that, or you know what I'm saying? That's giving wrong messages. Do you know what I'm saying? And sometimes parents do this as well, not meaning to do it, but your parent is your parent. They're gonna tell you what you're good at, and they're gonna tell you what you're not good at. They're gonna tell you when you're right and tell you when you're wrong. Even though they mean good for you, but sometimes it's not a parent who's going to be the one to motivate you in your life, because they give you mixed messages. With their right hand, they tell you how great you are. Oh, my son's great. Oh, my daughter's great. But with their left hand, they say, they tell you all the wrong things about you. And the thing about parents, they can go on and on and on. Do you know what I'm saying? And the more you hear negative about yourself, is the more you're gonna feel less of a person in yourself. And this can affect so much different parts of your life. This can affect the relationship you have at work with your colleagues, relationships what you have with your wife or with your husband. It can affect so much parts of your life, because it only takes 10 times to talk negative about a person, to make them feel less of a person, but about 100 times to make that person feel worthy again. And I'm not exaggerating. Scientists have studied these things, and the result is that it's easy to put a person down, but so hard to put a person back up. That's why a lot of people, the population of the young people, they are committing suicide. You might not hear it on the news every day, you know what I'm saying? You might not see it on the news every day, but the pressure is on for young people. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was a teenager, you know, I was allowed to be a teenager. But nowadays, teenagers, they're not allowed to be teenagers. because their parents are growing them up very fast. Their parents want them to be a man very fast, so they can take over the family business, or to take over this, and or to follow your bigger brother's footsteps, or to follow your father's footsteps or your mum's footsteps. But you see, we weren't designed to follow footsteps. You see, footsteps is how can I put it? To guide us in the right way to go. But footsteps is not for us to copy every footstep where another person has been before. No, 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 no. You see, God gave us the opportunity to find our own footsteps. You know, when a baby is crawling or just starting to walk, you notice the baby will follow mum's or dad's footsteps. But as the baby gets older and becomes a young teenager, that teenager will start to find he or her own footsteps. You know, because all of us has got a footstep to walk in life, and your footstep is not going to be the same as your brother's. You know what I'm saying? If it happens to be, you're still going to be a bit different compared to your brother. You will never be the exact same as your brother. Your brother, you and your brother could be twins, but there's going to be something different about you two. There's gonna be something. There's gonna be a different walk. Both of you are gonna walk differently. Both of you are gonna have a different tone in your voice. You might look the same. You might act the same. You might walk the same. But something about you two will be different, because you see, God is in the business of not making carbon copies. God doesn't make copies. Shall I say it again? I said God does not make copies. God deals with unique. That means when he made you, he made only one you. And you are unique. There will never be another human being exactly like you as long as we're living on this earth. Never be. So this means that God started fresh with you, and he created you the best way he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So that means you're not a mistake. That's one thing. You're not a mistake. But people will start telling you through your life that you are a mistake, or that you're not good at something. And it'll make you feel like you're a mistake eventually. Imagine you walk in every area, you go into every job, and people are saying to you, oh, I don't think you're good at this. I think that, this job is not for you. Maybe you should try something else. Sorry, I need to let you go because you're not good at this job. And then you go to another job, they say the same thing. You're doing something different, but they're telling you're getting the same message in your life. Oh, I don't think this job is good for you. Or you go to college, oh, I don't think this subject is good for you. The grades what you are getting is not up to our standards. I don't think you're capable of passing this course. And if you keep on hearing that through your life, one day you're going to sit down and say to yourself, well, what am I good at? I've tried everything else, and everyone's telling me I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. So what am I good at? Do you know what I'm saying? And that will make you start thinking to yourself that you are a nobody and you're good at nothing. And then it makes you feel worthless. And then you start hiding yourself from the public, you start hiding yourself from your friends and family because you believe you're worthless. And then you start taking drugs and drink and things like that to cover up your pain that you're feeling inside. And do you know how much young teenagers are feeling like that today? If you believe me, nearly the half population of young teenagers are feeling that way because there's too much pressure. There's too much pressure. You have to grow up quickly. You have to act like a man quickly. You can't be a teenager no more. They say from the age of 15 years old to the age of 20. That's when your teenager years are finished. But I believe that, from the age of 14 years old all the way to you're about 28 is when you're still a teenager. Because you still have that joy of a teenager inside you. You still like to do those, have fun as a teenager. Do you know what I'm saying? When you're at age 28, But yet, the responsibility on your life is so demanding from your parents and from your teachers and from your friends and your family members that you can't act like a teenager no more. Because as soon as you start playing up like a teenager, your friend will nod you and say, "What are you doing? You're acting like a little child." Do you know what I'm saying? And this is not allowed. You're not allowed to act like a little child no more. You have to be professional. You're supposed to have a degree. You have to be, you have to have a degree and have a good job. You know what I'm saying? You must be married by the age of 25. You know what I'm saying? Or if you don't get married, we're gonna arrange a marriage for you. You know what I'm saying? It's all force and all pressure that's been put on this young person's life for them to grow up. And so much failures and people saying that you're a failure, you're not good at this and you're not good at that. It's too much pressure for that young person. But God doesn't give you that pressure. It's only people like your family and friends who will give you that pressure. But God wouldn't give you that pressure because God knows it takes a while and nearly a lifetime to find out exactly who you are. Do you know what I'm saying? But I want you to know that, we look at parents as role models, but our parents is not really role models. Our parents are people who guide us to keep us off the broad road, if you want to put it that way. But for a parent to encourage their son or daughter, they are not the best example to do that because a parent will kind of tell you how great you are with their right hand, but with their left hand, they will tell you how bad you are. They will tell you how much successful you are with their right hand, but tell you how much of a failure you are with their left hand. You see, parents will give you mixed messages, not because they deliberately want to. It's just that they're your parents. Do you know what I'm saying? They know when you're doing wrong and they know when you failed and they know when you're doing right. So, both messages come from the parents. But what you need, you would always find there's someone else in your life who's not necessarily connected with your family, but believes in you, and they never look at the wrong what you do. They only look at the right what you do and encourage you in the right what you do. If you find someone like that in your life, it's good to hold on to. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. It's good to hold on to. You know what I'm saying? And they come in different formats. They come at different sizes, different ages. I mean, right now, my motivator who's motivating me, the person who's doing that, he's only 14 years old. Fancy that, a 14-year-old is motivating me, Nathan Brown. Would you believe that? Yes, 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 sir. But I accept him. The reason why I accept him is because when I met him, I knew that he came with divine connection to connect with me. Believe me, I knew that God sent him into my life. And the way he speaks and the way he encourages me, as that I'm much older than him, you know what I'm saying? I'm old enough to be his father, but he's encouraging me in my life, and I accept him for him to do that because I believe that he has been sent from God. Do you know what I'm saying? And once you find someone who doesn't look at the wrong in you, who doesn't look at the failure in you, but always looks at the great in you, you know what I'm saying? That's the one you need to hold on to. You know what I'm saying? Because they will send good messages into your life that will balance your life to make you go further in your life and to do great in your life. You know what I'm saying? It only takes 10 times for you to hear something negative in your life for you to feel less worthy of yourself. No matter what profession you do, you can have a good job, making good money, driving nice cars, having this and having that. But the more people tell you that you're a failure, the more people put you down in life. It doesn't matter what material things you have. It doesn't matter how far you got in your life. Inside, you're going to really feel like a failure. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is what people are not aware of, is that we walk around every day with a loose words and loose mouth. You see, when I walk out of my house, I'm well built up in myself with positive words that when I meet you, all I'm gonna say about you or to you is something positive. Even if I see something negative about you, I'm not going to talk about that with you and talk about it with no one else behind your back either. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to see the positive in you and tell you about the positive in you so that you won't dwell on the negative in you or the failure in you. All you will think about is the positive in you. You see, it's a mindset. It's a mindset, and all of us have the ability, and all of us have the responsibility that we owe each other as human beings to encourage each other through our everyday life. You know what I'm saying? You know, just saying to a lady who's walking down the street, not because you want a phone number, but you're just saying it as you're passing by. Oh, you got a great smile. Do you know what she would say? Have I? Somebody would say, have I? And it will make them smile even more. And I guarantee that person will smile through the day. And always remember what you said to them, because you planted a seed in their life. You planted an encouragement seed. You planted something what's going to make them feel good about themselves. And that's all you need to do, is just say one simple little word to someone that is good about that person, and they will remember what you said to them. Because everyone gravitates to the good. No one really wants to hold on to the negative. I don't want to hold on to the negative to you. No. We all gravitate to the good. When someone says you got a great smile, or someone says that you're good at this, or that you're going to be a conqueror, you know what I'm saying? New doors of opportunity are open for you. I can see it. People hold on to those kind of things, you know? But don't lie to them. Just speak the truth. And in everyone, you would always see the good in someone. Do you know what I'm saying? If you look for the good, you will find the good. If you look for the bad, you will find the bad. You look for the success, you will find the success. You look for the failure will always show up in front of that person. But you see, the failure is not bigger than the success. You have to fail first before you reach the success. So failure would always show up first in front of someone. But if you look beyond the failure of that person, you will see the beauty of success. Yes, yes, yes. So we're here to encourage each other. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't put each other down. And remember, it only takes 10 times for you to make someone feel less worthy of themselves. You know, tell them, you know, some people went to school and they tried to play basketball. Their friends said, oh, you're rubbish at that, you're not good at that. Then they tried to play football and they said, oh, you're rubbish at that, you're not good at that. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, they leave school and they start working, and the boss calls them aside and says, look, I need to let you go. You're not a good worker. You're always coming in late, you know. And then you go to another job. You try another profession. You try computers. Your boss says that you're not good on computers. He has to let you go. Then you try some simple jobs where everyone says that, oh, you will catch this job. It's just common sense. Cooking burgers is just common sense. Everyone knows how to cook a burger, don't you? It's common sense. But yet, the common sense for everyone else is not common sense to you. So people look at you and laugh at you and trying to say in more action than words that you don't have common sense. And then you think to yourself, look, I ain't even got no common sense. Do you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no common sense. What am I worthy of? They said that the last job I had, they told me that it was common sense. I done customer service for 3 years. They told me that it was common sense. But to me, it was more than common sense. It took more training. It took more understanding, more than common sense. But to everyone else, it was common sense. But to me, it was difficult. So what? I don't have common sense. That's how you start thinking about yourself. And once you start getting to that grind and thinking to yourself that you don't even have common sense, then you start saying there's something wrong with you. It's okay for people to say there's something wrong with you, but when you start saying there's something wrong with you, my friend, you've got a problem. Tell your neighbor, when you say there's something wrong with you, then you've got a problem. The reason why you've got a problem, because you need to live with you every day. You can't get away from you. Come on. You know what I'm saying? I can't get away from Nathan Brown. I'm Nathan Brown in the morning. I'm Nathan Brown in the evening. I'm Nathan Brown the next morning. I can't get away from me. And I gotta love myself for me to love you. I gotta believe in myself first before I can believe in you. I gotta treat myself good first before I can treat you good. Do you know what I'm saying? So everything starts with you. Yeah? So don't make no one put you down. No, don't make no one put you down. Richard Branson was taught common sense and was told that he didn't have common sense. And he got kicked out of school early because the schoolwork, maths, English, he couldn't do. He was rubbish at it. But look where Richard Branson is today. Do you know what I'm saying? There's so much other famous people who got kicked out of school, and Biggie Smalls was told that he would never be nobody. You know what I'm saying? He'd just be a drug dealer from the area of Brooklyn. But Biggie Smalls was a multi-millionaire who sold millions and millions of albums and was successful while he was alive. Do you know what I'm saying? So people don't have the last say. It's you who have the last say. Don't make no one put you down. Believe in yourself. And if you find someone who's going to encourage you in your life, who's going to tell you how great you are, then keep that person close by. Because they're planting seeds in your life that's going to turn you into a great person. Yeah? So you guys have a beautiful evening and God bless you. Take care. This is Nathan Brown. Peace. One love.